because the thought of losing him, the thought of losing the person that I was going to live my adult life. So hello. All right, I need to concentrate. I don't need to think about anything else than this. So today we're going to talk about the advices that my dad gave me before he passed away or before his passing. So it's going to be a very hard it's going to be a very hard podcast for me to do, but now I'm feeling like recently I've been feeling like emotional a little bit, I was crying a little bit. Yeah, boys cry. Boys cry. Yeah, we cried a lot, but girls don't see it because we do it in silence. We do it when no one is watching us. So, yeah, I was thinking about this feeling yesterday about what are the most important advices that my dad gave me before his passing. So I'm going to put you guys in context about that. But first, welcome back to Born Weird Podcast. This is the podcast. This is your favorite podcast because I'm host Gifted. I'm host Gifted, and I'm the voice of the boys. So yeah, guys, for this today's episode, we have a very very important podcast. Like, have you ever lost anyone? Like, have someone passed away in your family? And have you ever lost any of your role models, your parents, or some close friend or something like that? So yeah, I'm going to tell you guys about this story. I'm going to tell you guys this process because people does not. In my case, my dad. It was a pretty tough journey when he got this illness that we couldn't find them earlier, because if we did find them, he will be with us, but we were late to the party. So yeah, I think God wanted him in the sky or in the paradise or under his wing. I don't know, but yeah, this is my father. This is the story of my father and the advice he gave me before his passing. Okay, to put you guys in context, this is a very tough topic for me because I was in the middle of everything. When he got sick, it was during COVID. He got COVID, but he didn't die because of COVID. He died because he had another illness. He got cancer, but we didn't know because colon cancer is not noticeable. Like, you cannot notice, like, you don't feel anything. So he was struggling with that. As a man, he doesn't say much about his life. He was raised the old-fashioned way. His mother was very tough to him. He started working when he was a kid, so he did that a lot. Because he was poor and he was not living in the capital of Lima, Peru. He was living in another state, like far away, where the poverty domains. So he had a rough life, but he made it. He became a pretty successful man. Obviously, he had committed some mistakes, but not, but everyone does it, right? Everyone has mistakes, everyone has regrets, everyone has everything. So, but he was a pretty good father overall. I think he he was like he was pretty rough with me when I misbehave. He used to beat me up. He used to um, tell me a lot of things that kids shouldn't hear because he was raised that way. He was raised the old-fashioned way. So he was beating me when I misbehave. He was like he was putting me down, because he believed that if he did that, that is going to make me tougher. But it was the contrary because I grew up having low self esteem a lot. I have it now. I still have it. So I'm struggling with this because of him. But I don't blame him at all because I always see the real message of him. I always see what he wanted from me. But my mom was all the contrary of him. My dad was so strict with me. He wanted to get out the best version of me. But my mom was, I think she was her weak point because my mom, she was giving me all the permission to do whatever I want, and she was focused on working because my mom is a workaholic, not an alcoholic. She's a workaholic, but she was more focused on the business side, and my dad was focused on the family side. My dad was raising my little sister as well. He was raising me. He was taking me to school. He was doing this stuff to be more close to me because he was working all day. Yeah, so he was working all day, but he does not stop him. Sorry, I'm just, oh my god, I'm so emotional. He was working all day, and also he was getting close to me and my little sister. He takes us to school and he takes us to the events. He stayed pretty close when we were kids. He grew up with us, so yeah. But he never talked about his emotions, all his personal feelings. He always wanted me to be my best version. He put me in soccer. He put me on karate. That helped me a lot. He put me on a lot of stuff to build my personality, and I think he did well doing that. So yeah, he was poor. He came from a very, very humble family. His dad passed when he was a kid as well. I think he was a construction worker or something like that. Yeah. So this is going to get a little bit difficult for me to talk, and this is going to get like, oh my god, I need to wear my glasses. I'm so sorry. This is going to be a little bit rough, but we are men. And I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to be open because this is the podcast that I wanted to do, and this is the memories that I wanted to share. So I've recollected all the advices from my memory that my dad gave me before his passing, but I'm going to build more in this story. So don't close this video and keep listening. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I get emotional because I all my life because my mom. Oh my god, my mom is older than my dad, and I believed like my mom. I always believe that my mom, she's going to be gone sooner. I don't know because of the age thing. And I was going to pass all my old life with my dad because he was 7 years younger than my mom, and my mom had a lot of health issues. So I was relying on my dad to grow up and be a man. Oh my god, this is difficult. Oh, but yeah, it was during COVID. He got COVID, and we were having no trouble doing this. Like we were not having like he was fine. He was just fine. He was getting great. He was he was having COVID. He wasn't a big deal for him. He got up really quick and he overcome that pretty quickly. So it was after that. So my mom and my dad, they were no longer a couple, but they still lived together. So they got into this fight, and I started living with my dad. Because she took her stuff and got to a because we have like we have the privilege to have multiple houses or more than one house. So she went to the other house and she started living there with my sister and my little brother. So I got to be more time with my dad. So one day, it was a Sunday, I believe this. He told me like, son, my stomach hurts. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So I knew in my mind, like God, I think God told me something that I had this gut feeling of I maybe this is the his last weekend being this healthy, and I was right, and I didn't want it to be right because after that things became so rough. It was, oh my god, having a dad with cancer in Peru, especially where the medical or health situation is trash. There's no health insurance there. It was the most traumatic experience in my life. Yes, I'm going to talk to you about the advices, but I'm going to put you in context. So it was the last time, like, so the only we all believed that it was just a common colon issue, but it was not. It was cancer stage 4, and it was almost irreversible. So they told him that in his face, when we went to the doctor, to the oncologist, they told him it's over. There's no coming back from this. You need to prepare your things, and you need to set your life. You need to everything that you need to do. You need to do it right now. Any plans, anything, do it right now. Anything you want to tell your family, do it right now. I don't know how to say this word. Or let me get my phone. Okay, he was declared terminally ill. So I was looking for that word. And they do that in my face, in front of me and my mom. And I was the responsible for everything now on. Because we take the insurance, the medical insurance for him, and it was fucking frustrating. Like taking him to the worst neighborhood in Peru, to the worst hospital where the medical insurance is shit. Like you don't have anything. Like like the illness is all over the place. Like people with terminal illness was sleeping on the floor. So we had no choice because they tell us that he was terminally ill. So I did the best I can as a son. I took him everywhere, every time, to do his appointments and do things like that. He wanted to do chemotherapy, but they wouldn't let him because his time might get shortened because there was no coming back, and they told me that. And multiple times they told me in my face that my dad it was going to die, no matter what. So it was fucking scared because the thought of losing him, the thought of losing the person that I was going to live my adult life in my mind, he wasn't he wasn't get to be with me anymore. Oh my god, this is so awful. So yeah, it was rough for me, but he comes to realize he never, bro, like I admire my dad for this and I took this like an advice. He never cried in front of me during that time. He never showed me some sort of weakness. Like, what the hell? He was so strong. Like, he was saying, like, okay, if I'm gonna dead, it's all right. No matter what. I don't believe anything. He was just watching football, soccer, drinking Coke because that was his drink of choice. He really liked it. I remember one day that I buy Coke Zero by accident because when someone is terminally ill, like buying Coke Zero is the worst thing you could do because if his favorite drink is Coke, regular Coke, you give him regular Coke because I don't know how many days he's going to be in this earth left. So he he just yelled at me, "Why you buy Coke? Why didn't you buy regular Coke?" And I was, "Oh my god, you're right." And I wanted to tell him, like in those times, I wanted to tell him a lot of my stuff. I wanted to clear everything, but I couldn't. I don't know. My ego didn't let me. I don't know why. But I wanted to have these conversations with him, but I don't know why I wouldn't open myself to him. Oh my god, shit. But yeah, we had many conversations, but I wouldn't open myself. I don't know why. But I made him one promise. At a time, I was doing social media because this is not my first time doing this. I was doing social media, and I was having a podcast. I was starting a podcast with a friend, and I was not. I was either or take him to the hospital or go to my shed, and I was doing both most of the time because I really wanted. But it was pretty tough for me to keep my smile up, knowing that he was struggling a lot with his illness. He is the toughest man I ever, I ever know. So the first advice is never show yourself weak. Never to your enemies. Never show them your weaknesses. Do not react because if you react, you are giving them some information, and this is not. So this is the first thing that I want to say. He taught me this. Do not react. Even when you want to buy something, when you want to do something, don't tell anyone. Do not show your weak spots. You cry, yeah, you cry. but you cry alone and in your room with no one hearing. I know I wasn't the perfect son because he was helping other people as well. He was like a father for a lot of people because having a company, you have the obligation to take care of everyone. So he was taking care of many people. He was helping many people. He was a good guy, but my dad never had these friends. And I ask myself why? Why my dad never had friends? And I come to realize that their friends doesn't exist when you are on top of the business, when you're on top of success. Just there are just meetings and things like that, but no one was coming. Yeah, people were coming over, but only humble people that my parents know, only humble, or maybe people who was working for them in the company, and we were family. So yeah, this is the other advice: do not have many friends. You just have a few, and you keep them by your side. Do not open your life to others that easily. Don't get them to manipulate you. And I asked my mom and my dad, why you don't have friends? Why it's not people coming over like normal families? And I come to realize that they don't need them. Family is enough. Family is enough because even though family is your family and it will be forever, you know. So family is enough. Having your kid, having your family, having your sons. So you have a friend, let them demonstrate you that they are not going to fail you. And if they did, let them demonstrate you. Like be aware, you know, let them demonstrate you that they are not going to do that again or they change. So yeah, I this comes to my mind a lot because now I don't have any friends. Like I ditched a friend yesterday, but I'm going to talk about this topic in another time because I'm getting off topic right now. So he gave me that. Do not show your weak spots. Friends are not that important. You only trust your family. That's it. Your nuclear family. Even though cousins don't count, no. Close family, your family, father figure, father, daughter, sister, you know, nuclear family is more important than anything. So yeah, I was doing this podcast thing. Our podcast was growing, but not that quite good in the beginning. So yeah, the last one of the last days we had this conversation with the family. My little sister, my mom, and my little sister, my mom, my dad, and me. And I make him a promise. I was telling him, like, this thing is going to work, Dad. You gotta believe me. You believe in me. My podcast is going to work. I'm going to be the best at it. I'm going to be revolutionary with it. And I'm going to be one of the greatest. And I did that. A year later, we were on the top 3 of best podcasts in Peru. We were doing a great job. My vision was right. I built everything that I promised. But everything comes to an end. So I built my shed. I had a large community and I was making enough money to travel around the world and doing my thing with my podcast. But when you do stuff, you know yourself better. You know? So the other thing that he told me is stick to your word. Stick to your word. Do what you say you are going to do. So don't I don't know this phrase with David Dobrik. This that don't overpromise and over deliver, and ever always over deliver. Don't over promise and don't over deliver. What is this phrase? I'm going to ask ChatGPT. How do you say don't over promise and over deliver? How is this phrase came from? I don't know. Can you tell me, please? Yeah, the thing is, promise less that you can actually do and deliver more than what people expected. Under promise and over deliver. This is the phrase. So stick to your word. Under promise and over deliver. That's the thing. So I don't remember where I left this. Okay. So I was doing this podcast and a year passes and we were the most successful podcast. We were in the top 3. We were doing great. We were innovating the podcast world. Our first season went well. We finished our first season by going to Mexico and interviewing a lot of people. And yeah, Mexico, it was my favorite place. So I went there. I interviewed a lot of comedians. But when I was about to start the second season, the second year, I say to myself, I no longer want this. I want to find myself. I was so confused at the time. I was so confused. The thing is, I I love to do podcasts because I'm now doing one, but I wasn't feeling it in that way because I was innovating and I was doing right, but I want to build my personal brand and I didn't know that at the time, you know. I want to build a whole universe of stuff to get connected and connect with people and build a community. That was my plan. I recently found that I really want to do that. Okay, let me see there. Oh my god. Oh my god. So yeah, guys, forget me. Like, please forget me if I'm crying a lot because I miss him a lot. It has been 3 years, but I miss him like it was yesterday. You know. All right, nice. So yeah, I was. So I'm going to read some of them for you, but to put you in context, yeah, my dad did everything for me. So when my mom, because my mom before he was with my dad, he had 3 daughters. They were an adults, you know, they were an adults. Then met my dad, and then my dad always wanted a boy. Always he wanted a boy. Like he was telling me, "You're not going to tell me a boy. I want a boy. I want a boy." And my mom was doubting of having another kid because she was old. You know, she was 43 at the time, and she wanted to have me. And at the end, he have 2 more. He had me and my sister. But yeah, my mom get him a boy that it was me, and he was so happy. So yeah, my dad was so happy when that happened, and I grew up like I don't know, but he did that. He did everything for me. So I grew up being a little bit cocky, maybe. You know, I a little bit. My ego it was through the roof, maybe. I don't know, but I was this low self esteem kid with a big ego. I was a big dreamer, you know. But yeah. So another thing that my dad always told me it was you gotta learn everything just a little bit, but don't focus your specialty. But the advice works like this: if you learn your specialty and some things around it, you are not going to get fooled because you're going to know the business. You're going to know everything. You're going to know what you are getting into. You know, you're not going to get a scam or get fooled. So learn a little bit of everything. So he had a large list of abilities that he can do. So he was an engineer. He was building this crazy. He was preparing this crazy um, cranes because we were working. Our companies we were renting heavy duty cranes to different companies. Oh, he was in charge of building them. So he knew a lot of engineering stuff. He was one, I believe he was one of the first ones in this field to do that. He was doing that in Peru. He was, oh my god, he was one of the best. People respect him a lot. He didn't show his weaker points, So he was fine. He never showed me anything. I saw him once crying, but it's all right? I respect him so much. So crying is all right for him because he was very emotional as well, but he was very cocky as well. He was very, how do you say, orgulloso? He was very sober, proud of himself. He wouldn't let you see his weaker points. So never. So especially when it comes to business. So he was a pretty great guy. So yeah. Okay. So he used to say this a lot, like you have to be aware of everything, of your surroundings. You have to be ready to act up quickly. You have to be like this. Yeah, let's do it. You have to be ready. You have to put yourself ahead always. You have to do it. Like you have to be quick as hell. You have to be rapidly fast on thinking, on delivering. You have to be the best. Always you have to be aware. Every time you are getting into something, it's like a competition. You gotta be the best. And you have to be aware. You have to look at your surroundings and be aware of the people. So that is one of his advices. He told me this pretty much every day. Also, another things, I was very impatient when I was a kid. And I was this, how do you say in English? I was very conceited when I was a kid. I was very conceited. I was, I don't know if this is a word, conceited, but yeah, but I wasn't patient at all. I wanted things rapidly fast. If I wanted something, I wanted that day. So he told me, be patient, be patient. So my mom usually get me things done quickly. Like, I want this, and my mom bought it for me. She was more like focused on work, but she was a good mother. Like I don't say in the contrary, but he always makes me wait for things, or maybe put an effort or do something to get things. So be patient. I'm learning to do that, to be patient. He was patient. He was just sitting around saying nothing, just waiting. He was patient, and I think he was successful because of this. He was a very meticulous man. He liked to build. He was crafty. He was a crafty man. He was building things every time. He was fixing all the light bulbs. He was painting the roof. He was changing the floors. He liked a lot gardening. For my dad, gardening was his hobby. He really liked that. He really liked to climb a tree and get some fruit. We got a pretty good garden in our house that my dad took care of. So had a hobby is one of his advices. But had a hobby. He was a pretty good soccer player, but he injured his knee, so he couldn't play it anymore. But I think his passion was to play football, but also gardening. Gardening was his way to let out all of this energy. Let me see. Always, this advice was for trips. He told me always, like, go to the bathroom before we go to the road trip, because I'm not going to stop for a long time, because I want to get out of the city right now and quickly. I want to get out of this city, because he was I don't know, he was a road trip guy. He really likes road trips. He really likes to visit her mom, back in his city. So the name of the city was Huaraz, one of the most beautiful cities in Peru. Carhuaz, Huaraz, Carhuaz is a city as well, but her mom was from Carhuaz. And yeah, we every I think maybe 3 times a year, 4 times a year, we were going there, but I was not feeling it because I don't know. I got this I got sick with the altitude and latitude shit, I got this illness when every time when I'm traveling to other places. So yeah, but I was doing it for him most of the time. So it was an obligation to go. So P before road trips. That's a good one. Always help your mother, and this stuck with me a lot after his passing because he helped my mom a lot. They weren't a couple. They weren't so romantic. I think they were separated. They never told me this, but I just assumed that because my dad. I don't know. I don't want to get into the details, but I think they were more like co-workers. They functionally more perfect. They functionally the best by being co-workers and running this company than being a couple. So yeah, always help your mom. He was trying to teach me to help my mom. He was trying to teach me to defend your mom because women are weaker than men, so we need to protect them. So one of the best things that he told me that stuck with me was one day he dropped this comment on me. Like he told me, he told me I'm going to work 5 more years and then I'm going to travel with your mom a lot. I want to do that. And yeah, he was planning to retire soon. So, but this time he was gonna be retired. So yeah, um, travel a lot, and that stuck with me until today, and is going to stuck with me all my life because this message is so strong. Because you never know, like you never know. He was planning to work 5 more years and then travel because he was young. He was 45, maybe no, he was 50. He was almost 60. I think he was 60 when he died. Yeah, he died at 60. He was young, 65. Start traveling to 70. It was going to be a hell of a plan. It was going to be great. It's going to be his best years. Of retirement. But we never know. So travel a lot is one of the most advices that I got from him. Obviously, like learn how to fish, learn fishing. Because he was. I think gardening was his way to relax, and fishing was his way of showing me his strength. He really loved to fish, and I was so impressed by that. Because I never learned how to fish, and I really want to do that now. I really want to learn how to fish. So I remember like one of the most fun road trips that I did with my dad was like we went to Miami. My dad bought a white Nissan, a pickup truck, like those little pickup trucks, with two doors, like an elite of on the trunk, those beautiful Nissan trucks. My dad fell in love with that truck, so he imported this truck to Peru. He it was the truck of his life. It was his favorite truck. My God. And he gave it away for building the company, for growing the company, for buying more advanced technology or more. I think we were buying a new crane, so he sold it, and I think he lost like his arm. Like, for him, it was like losing an arm or something like that because he felt so sad. He never showed me that he was sad, but I could feel him being sad for selling his truck. So yeah, we were doing this road trip like from Texas to Miami because we were going to get the truck to the port, so the port of Florida, I think. So we left the the truck there with all of our belongings and imported that to Peru. It was an amazing trip, one of the best. We did, I think, we visited Disney as well. So I got a full experience road trip in the US. And I want to do that again, but with my friends and my family. Maybe my family, yeah, but mostly I want to do it with my closest friends. I want to road trip the US. That's a dream because I did it once with my dad. And also my dad does not have the permission to drive. He told me like I'm just going to drive with my regular license and that's it. If I get caught, it is what it is. So I don't care. I will do that. Like, you know? So this is an advice. Be loco, live. You know, a lot of road trips are fun. Do it. So, oh my God, I have a lot of stories and so many advices from him. But these, I think, are the most important ones. You know, and he always told me like finish what you start. If you start something, please finish it. Please finish what you start. If you're going to do something, finish it. So I was doing the contrary. I was doing all wrong. I was starting things and not finish them because on the long run, I was finding myself like, this is not what I want to do. So I was pretty much not finishing at all. So, yeah, always visit your mom. He was always visiting my mom, his mom, because we were doing this road trip like 2 or 3 times a year to visit her mom, my abuelita, my grandmother. Actually, my grandmother passed from sickness after my dad passed because she got like depression, and all and all of their illnesses like caught on fire, poof, they evolved fast. So she also died for depression of not having my dad, because my dad, he raised them well, like she raised them well, and he was the only one that was coming back to visit her. Oh my God. So yeah, I lost my grandmother as well, not long before, not long after, but I lost her as well. So the road trips are not the same. We are not visiting the same people. Yeah, everything has changed, but I always will keep these memories with me. The only time my dad was so strict that the only time he told me he was proud of me and loved me, he was that one day that he was drunk. I found him drunk in the house. He was drinking. I don't know. It was his house, so he has all the rights to drink in his house. So he was drinking and he hugged me and, hey, I'm proud of you. I like who you are. You are the best son I ever have. And I love you. And I really love you. And I was not believing his word because they were exceptional. Like, oh my God, I want him more drunk. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, and I will never forget these things. And also, he has such an empathy because he will always ask me about my career because I was pursuing YouTube and music, and I'm still pursuing music as well. But he told me, you need a manager. We have the money to get your manager. You need to get a music producer for you because I like your songs. I like your voice. And I was, oh my God. And he also wanted me to show him his music, my music. So he was the empathy that he was for his son. It was amazing. So now that I have my little brother, I'm going to be like him. I'm going to be his role model because I really want him to grow up like a good kid. So that's why I'm deciding to go back. And yeah. Okay. So and I promised him something that I haven't done yet, but one of them are before he got before we found he got cancer, we were planning on going to barbecue classes and learn how to barbecue the right way. Know about meats, know about, grills, know about times, know about everything, recipes. And it was our first course that we have interest in, our same interest course. Like we were planning to do this like for real, for real. So obviously we couldn't get the time to do it. But this is a promise for you, and yeah, I will make it one day. I'm going to teach myself how to do it, and I'm going to keep my promise. So, also, last advice, if you are here, if you're still here, please listen to this. My dad made me believe more because I always believed in God, but he showed me paradise. I think by through a dream. I don't know, but after his passing, I came here to Spain and I didn't get anything from him, like a photo or some things, like his camera, because he also likes cameras and take photos. I'm more like a video guy, but he was like a photo guy. So yeah. But my mom sent me this package one time when my sister visited. I was living in Pozuelo in Madrid. I'm currently living here, but my sister gave me in a little pack a photo of him that I keep on my wallet. I want to show you guys. Yeah. So after I opened this photo of him, I have two. I have one of me and him. So yeah, he gave me this photo, and I got in this dream. Like I dreamed this night. That night I dreamed, and he was on a big field, big greenish field with a lot of grass. He was sitting with his normal regular outfit, polo knit, jeans, and work shoes. And he looked at me, and we hugged, and we started crying. And it felt so freaking real. I could feel his arms, his breath, his body, and oh my God. And I know he's good. He's good, next to Jesus or God or something like that. Because I don't know. So he made me believe more in God. And now I talk to God almost every day and I give him my thoughts. I don't pray, but I just have a conversation with God. So even after he passed, he's always teaching me something. So yeah, and that was not the first time. So the other time was actually a few weeks ago. I dream about him because I told God, please let me meet my dad. Let me have a moment with my dad. And he put me in another scene with him. I was with him in the living room of our first house. And he was just watching football, having a big smile, being emotional to see me. And yeah, he was very, very good, very tranquil, he was very chill. He was very chill. He was enjoying himself, And yeah, that made me realize I have to talk to God more because every time I ask him for things, he gave it to me. So yeah, sorry for not number the advices, but yeah, these are the advices that he gave me before his passing. So I know my dad is with me. I know he's seeing my progress, and I miss you, Dad. I hope I can see you in my dreams more often. And yeah, this episode is dedicated for you and for you guys as well. And I see you tomorrow, right? So this is it for today, guys. I'm host Gifted, and I hope you guys enjoy this episode. So this is it for today, and you know the thing. See you tomorrow, right? Well, it was so cold.